Hello friends, Jai Hind. This is your friend Colonel Kavya here, and I will try and explain it to you the latest Agnipath Yojana, or the recruitment system which has been induced into the Indian Defence Forces yesterday. The announcement was made yesterday. The CCS clearance was given yesterday, and the Defence Minister, along with all three service chiefs, had made the necessary announcement, and nitty-gritties of the recruitment process were also explained yesterday. So this Yojana, the scheme would be called as Agnipath, the path of fire. In foreign countries, this is known as tour of duty. Tour of duty was not a very palatable term in Indian context, so the name Agnipath has been given. And Indian dispensation doesn't like it calling tour of duty. So Agnipath is the name of the Yojana, or the scheme, and Agniveer is the people who will be recruited, the soldiers who will be recruited. They'll be called as Agniveers. They'll be putting on a different insignia, and they'll be known as Agniveer, the people the brave who tread the path of fire. Now, coming down to the other details of the scheme, the CCS clearance was given yesterday, that is on 14th of June 2022. A total of 46,000 soldiers or Agniveers will be recruited after 3 months. After 3 months, that's somewhere in the month of September 2022, these rallies will start, and 46,000 Agniveers will be recruited into the Indian Army, and these Agniveers will stay for a period of 4 years only. Now, why this plan? Of late, the Prime Minister or the government had announced that 10 lakh jobs will be created in the next 1.5 years, because elections are going to be there in 2024. Now, where will these 10 lakh jobs come from? The Ministry of Home Affairs will give you around 1.3 lakh jobs. The railways would give you around 2.3 lakh jobs. And I repeat, the Defence Forces would give you around 2.5 lakh jobs. So out of those 10 lakh jobs which will be created, a major chunk of 2.5 lakh jobs would be from the Army, and these people would be from the Agniveer scheme, from the Agnipath scheme, and they'll be known as Agniveers. In foreign countries, it's also known as tour of duty, and this will be a recruitment on all India, all class basis. Means there will be no separate regiments like Jat, Rajput, Gurkhas, Sikhs, Sikh Light Infantry. No. It will be an all India, all class recruitment. An all India exam would be conducted, and thereafter medical and physical would be conducted. On the basis of merit, these 46,000 people would be recruited. Class composition will not be there. Now we go down further just to understand this scheme in detail. Let's see. Here it is. It's also known as tour of duty in foreign countries. And this scheme has been to some extent taken from foreign countries. Although the Defence Minister yesterday said we are not trying to copy anybody, agreed. But obviously they have studied, just as we made our constitution and we studied various constitutions. Similarly, the schemes in process or in progress in various countries were studied, and thereafter I believe so that this scheme has been introduced. In foreign countries, it's known as tour of duty for a very small period, limited period of time. The Defence Forces recruitment is on two bases. First is it is voluntary, and second it is conscription. In large number of countries, it is voluntary. You want to join the army, you join it. You don't want to join it, you don't join it. Till in India, also till now, including this Agniveer scheme, it is voluntary only. There is no forced conscription or forced bharti in the army as of now. Conscription means forced recruitment, ordered recruitment. There are orders in certain countries that for a specific period of time, let's say 1 year, 2 years or 3 years, every able-bodied person would serve in the Defence Forces to serve the nation, and thereafter go back to the civil street. Why is it being done? In the Nordic countries, it is being done because they are highly developed countries. People are not very willing to join the Defence Forces, and just to cope up with the requirement of manpower, Sweden, Norway, etc., they order conscription, that everybody has to join for a specific period of time. That is the reason with Nordic countries. North Korea, being ruled by a dictator, Kim Jong-un, and it is the dictator's wishes that he resorts to conscription, Zabardasti Bharti. Singapore also, for a limited period of time, there is conscription. Israel, one of the best armed forces of the world, and being threatened by 7 to 8 countries all around till now, it resorts to conscription for men and women. The conscription is 30 months for men and 22 months for women. Compulsory military service is conscription. South Korea, another developed country, Army, Navy, Air Force, respectively 21 months, 24 months and 25 months of compulsory conscription into the defense forces. Brazil, another South American country, for almost a year there is conscription for every able-bodied person. Russia, 1 year of conscription. And surprisingly, from the lessons learned from the Russia-Ukraine war, the conscription has not proved to be very fruitful for the Russian army. They have lost miserably at places courtesy conscription, because these greenhorns were not able to do well during war. And they had to bring in Chechen fighters also, as you must have listened in the news. US and China, what do? They follow a mixed policy. In general timings, it's a voluntary recruitment into the army, but during hours of need, during war, etc., compulsory conscription is resorted to. Pakistan, our next door neighbor, and as of now, in Pakistan, army is a very respected and sought after profession. In India, it is a respected profession, but not a very sought after profession. Pakistan is following the old system, only purely voluntary, no conscription. So this was broadly the various parameters or various recruitment procedures which I explained to you. We go further down. Let's see. Why has the government resorted to a conscription? We'll just study. There was a problem of revenue expenditure in the defense forces. These are broadly approximate figures. One should not take them literally. Approximately 5 crore 25 lakhs approximately was the total defense budget this year. Out of that, 1 crore 19 lakhs approximately is earmarked for pensions and pensions alone. And a similar amount is going for salaries of the people who are serving. So if you total the revenue expenditure is that expenditure out of which you are not purchasing any tangible long-term assets. Weapons वगैरह, हथियार वगैरह नहीं खरीद रहे हो आप उससे, सिर्फ आप pensions and salaries दे रहे हो. So the total revenue expenditure is huge. It is 3.52 lakh crores, 3 crore 52 lakhs. That's 3.5 crores, 3 crore 50 lakhs. That is 3.5 lakh crores out of this total amount. You are spending only on revenue. So that amounts to approximately 60% or a little more than 60% going purely to the revenue expenditure. उससे आपको कोई tangible assets achieve नहीं हो रहे. You are not achieving any tangible assets like weapons, new equipment, aircrafts, etc. So just to reduce this revenue expenditure, this major step has been taken by the government, although the government doesn't accept it. Yesterday the defense minister, honorable defense minister said कि फौज के लिए पैसे की कोई कमी नहीं है. Agreed. What he means is कि हथियार खरीदने के लिए पैसे की कमी नहीं है, लेकिन pension and salaries they certainly want to cut down in consonance with certain foreign countries which are also doing the same thing. Now out of this Agniveer scheme, approximately 5.2 lakh crores would be saved, and that's a massive amount, and that's what the government is looking at. So we have just discussed the reasons. This is the main reason, whatever the people may say, this is the main reason for which the government has resorted to this particular scheme. Let's go down further. Now what are the various parameters under which this Agnipath and Agnipath scheme would go? The parameters are, the age limit is 17.5 to 21 years. That means, as on date also, earlier also the recruitment was broadly into this age category only. Only for tradesmen it was 24 years, otherwise 17.5 to 21 was earlier. Also the similar kind of recruitment was being done, and there is not much change. Now a person entering at 17.5 years gets his document signed by his parents because he is still a minor, serves for 4 years, that is means 18, 19, 20, 21.5 years, he is out of the army, out of the defense forces. Somebody joins at 21 years, 22, 23, 24, 25. At the age of 25, he leaves the defense forces, goes into the civil street. This service is only for 4 years. ध्यान रखने वाली बात है, including the training, it is maximum 4 years of service. And out of those 4 years, 6 months is training alone. In case 6 months of training is there, that means 4 minus 6 months, that is 3.5 years of service. Further, there will be leave. The leave has not yet been exactly decided. The Air Force notification says that there will be 30 days of leave. As on date, the army gets, any army personnel, any Sipahi in the army gets 60 days of annual leave and 30 days of casual leave. That amounts to around 3 months of leave. 4 3s are 12. मतलब एक साल तो छुट्टी रहेगा in case complete leave is given, and 6 months of training. So 1.5 years is gone. So practically the person would be serving for 2.5 years, 2.5 years. This is the irony. Now let's go further down. What will be the education qualification? 10th or 12th pass. As on date also 10th and 12th pass people are coming. For technical streams 12th pass are coming. For normal GD streams 10th pass people are coming. Salary would be approximately 30 to 40,000. Initially it would be 30,000 for the first year, then keep increasing, and gradually in the 4th year it will be 40,000. Now what meets the eye is not the truth. Actual carry home salary would be different because they'll have to pay something towards their Seva Nidhi, towards their so-called provident fund or so-called golden handshake fund. So those details I'll be explaining you later. All kinds of hardship allowances would be given to the soldier who gets recruited as Agniveer. Means in case he's serving in CHN, he gets around 38,000 rupees extra. And similar kind of, if he's serving in field, CHN, counterinsurgency areas, he'll be getting different rates of allowances which are applicable as on date to the serving soldiers also. Death and disability benefits. There will be an insurance of approximately 48 lakh rupees and one-time payment of 44 lakh rupees in case of death in harness during service in the interest of the army. Details I'll explain you later. And in case a soldier dies or gets disabled, for the balance of the service period, that's total service is 4 years, somebody gets death after 2 years, balance 2 years, he or she will keep getting complete salary for those 4 years only. And what is Seva Nidhi? At the end of 4 years of tenure, an individual gets around 11.7 lakh rupees, lagbhag पौने 12 lakh रुपए he'll be getting, and that will be a golden handshake. With that money he goes back home. This is over and above whatever salary he's earned earlier. Now out of the people who are leaving finally, 25% will be retained in the army and 75%, that's a major chunk, that is 3/4 of the people will be released into the civil street to look for jobs on their own. Although the defense forces would be giving them a technical qualification certificate, those who join after 10th, they'll be given a 12th class certificate, things like that. The help would be rendered, but there is no guarantee of a job outside. Now the recruitment would be AIAC, All India All Class. 75% of the army as on date is AIAC, All India All Class. But 25%, some of the infantry regiments, especially the Jats, Sikhs, Rajputs, Gorkhas, Gadwalis, Kumaunis, and such other regiments have class composition. They have got a particular class of people. This was a system being followed right since the British time to imbibe valor and their camaraderie and their class spirit into them. But now an all India all class system would be followed, and there will be no class composition in the Indian Defence Forces. This existing class composition will wean away over a period of time. So in the next 10 years, almost 50% of the army would be the younger lot, the Agniveers. That's the temporary recruits. In this year alone, after 3 months, recruitment is starting for Agniveers, and 46,000 Agniveers would be recruited this year alone. It's likely to start in another 3 months, that's in the month of September. And the icing on the cake is, that's what some of the people say, that the women too would be recruited into the Agniveer scheme. The women would also have an equal opportunities. The gender parity has also been considered in this particular scheme. Now let's go down further. See, here are the salary structure. Observe it carefully. In the first year, the total salary of the person for the complete year would be 30,000. Out of that, 30% will go towards his corpus fund. That's the corpus fund of Seva Nidhi, which will be given him at the end of 4 years. So he'll in hand get only 21,000, 9,000 will go towards the corpus, and 9,000 the government would deposit. An equal amount the government would deposit. In the second year, he gets a total salary of 33,000. In hand salary would be 23,100. 9,900 would be deposited in the corpus fund, and similar amount 9,900 the government would deposit in the corpus fund. In the third year, the total salary would be 36,500. Out of that, 25,550 would be the in-hand salary, 10,950 would be deposited in the corpus fund, an equal amount of 10,950 in the third year the government would contribute per month. In the fourth year the total salary would be 40,000. Out of that the soldier gets 28,000 in hand, 12,000 will go towards the corpus fund, and an equal amount of 12,000 will be deposited by the government into the corpus fund. So this is broadly the in-hand salary or the carry-home salary is lesser. However, the overall salary is good. I won't say it is lesser, it is almost at par with the present day existing salary. Now, the total amount that a soldier contributes to the corpus fund within those 4 years is 5.02 lakhs, and a similar amount of 5.02 lakhs is contributed by the government. So at the end of 4 years, the total amount that is saved is 10.04 lakhs. उसमें इंटरेस्ट मिला के आफ्टर एडिंग द इंटरेस्ट एटसेट्रा इट वुड बी 11.71 लाख रुपीज हिल कैरी होम. लगभग पौने 12 लाख रुपए उसको मिल जाएंगे, एंड दैट विल बी अ गोल्डन हैंडशेक. आफ्टर दैट ही कैन लुक फॉर jobs outside in the CV street. So that was the broadly pay structure that is being followed. Let's go down further. Now see, there's a system of package. Army is also, or the defense forces also consider the CTC aspect. In the first year, the total expenditure of the government would be 4.7 lakh rupees towards the soldiers' salary and other expenditures. And now if you just do the back of the envelope calculations, first year is around 30,000, so that makes it 36,000 for the entire year, 3 lakh 60,000 for the entire year. So where does this 4.7 lakh, this additional 1.16 lakhs, where does it come from? So that is the expenditure being incurred by the government on food, on clothing, etc. Similarly, for the fourth year, the salary of the soldier is 40,000 per month. So 4,80,000 comes to be the total salary, but the expenditure would be 6.92 lakhs. So the additional amount is the expenditure towards his clothing, living and other expenditures, miscellaneous expenditures. So this is the cost to company or the cost being incurred by the government on each soldier from first to fourth year. However, the actual carry-home salaries we have already discussed. Now let's go down further. Now there are certain other benefits. These other benefits are the insurance, the compensation that the soldier gets in case of being a casualty, that is in case of death during duty, and these things also we'll discuss. Let's see. Death has been categorized into category X, category Y and category Z. What is category X? Category X death is when it is not attributable to military service. Means, for example, the causes are not military service. The individual is on leave, dies in a motorcycle accident. That is category X death. What is category Y death? Category Y death are physical casualties that occur when you are in service, on duty, but not due to enemy or terrorist action. For example, you died during training, you died during firing practice, during any sports event. That is category Y casualties. Category Z casualties are the battle casualties that occur during actual encounters with enemy, with the terrorist, with the at the border. So category Z. So this is the highest category. This is number 2, and this is the lowest category. Now what are the compensations for these categories? Let's see. Here are the details of the compensation. Anyway, I just see, in case it is category Y and Z. Y and Z categories are those that either occur during the, Y is that occurs during actual service, sports event or something during his service, and Z is when he gets injured or becomes a casualty during fighting with the enemy or the terrorist. That time he gets complete, in case of death, 48 lakh his insurance, and one time 44 lakhs is one time ex gratia. So in case a soldier dies fighting the terrorist, fighting the enemy, he gets around 92, his family gets around 92 lakhs. For the balance of period of 4 years, let's say after 2 years he dies fighting the enemy, For balance of 2 years, he'll keep getting the complete salary, what was due to him for the complete 4 years, for his actual service period of 4 years. So 92 lakhs plus actual salary for the till completion of 4 years is what he gets. And he also gets his Sevanidhi of approximately 11.7 lakh rupees. So on an average, approximately the soldier gets around 1 crore rupees in case he dies fighting the enemy, the terrorist, or in the service of the nation, eyeball to eyeball with the enemy. Now death in X categories. X categories is when you are on leave, you died in an accident, you died due to natural causes. So in that case, your insurance will continue of 48 lakh rupees. However, you will not get this 44 lakh rupees. You will get your Sevanidhi of 11.71 lakh rupees, and you will also keep getting your salary for the balance of the period. So you are basically covered by insurance of 48 lakh rupees only, and Sevanidhi you will also get. In case there is a disability, no, death is a separate issue. Death X category, death Y and Z category we have discussed. In case there is a disability, the disability is bracketed into various brackets. What are the various brackets for the disability? Let's see. Here it is. Okay. In case the disability is between 20 to 49%, this one. So it is considered to be 50% disability. In case it is between 50 to 75%, it is bracketed as 75% disability. In case it is above 75% disability, it is considered to be 100% disability. This is done by means of a board of medical officers who decide what is the percentage of disability, and it is bracketed to the next higher bracket. Now in case somebody is a 50% disability, he gets 15 lakh rupees. In case somebody is 75% disability, he gets 25 lakh rupees. In case somebody is 100% disability, he gets 44 lakh rupees. So this is the broad disability amount that one gets in case of disability. So that we have covered. On the lighter side, people keep speaking in the army that when the Agniveers come, on the lighter side, please don't take it seriously. Jinda Fauji 12 lakh ka or Mara Agniveer 100 lakh ka. So that's on the lighter side, just to make you laugh and make you remember the thing, statistics in an easier manner. Please don't take it otherwise. Let's go down further. So what are the pros of this Agniveer scheme? Let's see the pros. The age profile, which is 32 years now, will be reduced to 26 years in the next 5-6 years. That was a plan of the Kargil Review Committee also, and that's a good thing. In the next 10 years, there will be 1-to-1 ratio. 1-to-1 ratio means 50% of the young soldiers would be Agniveers. That's temporary for 4 years. There is a major saving in the revenue expenditure. We have already discussed approximately 5 lakh crores would be saved, and for that, and that can be used for capital expenditure. Job generation of approximately 2.5 lakh jobs. It's been announced by the government that it's going to start in the next 3 months. A disciplined and trained manpower for the civil stream would be available to join the various companies and other government job in case. And promotion by the army, and to some extent maybe by the private companies also, may occur, may not occur, it all depends. Army will certainly help out, the government would also try and help out, but the private companies, there's a cutthroat competition, and maybe that the skill sets may not suit the companies, or maybe certain skill sets suit. Another thing that is going to happen is it will become a lean, mean and tech-savvy forces. You see, today the recruitment in the army is around 60,000 per year. The recruitment per year would get reduced to 46,000. So obviously over a period of time, the strength of the army would keep reducing, and that is what the aim of the defense forces or the aim of the government is on that. Okay, going down further. Now another pro is the skilling would be done. People would be skilled. People who come after 10th class would be given a 12th class certificate by the time they go back. The contribution, the LIC cover, the life insurance cover is non-contribution. You don't have to contribute anything. So these are the plus sides. Approximately a soldier, by the time he goes back home after 4 years, including his salary and the Sevanidhi amount, amounts to around 23 to 25 lakh rupees, depending on the rate of interest. These were the pros. What are the cons? Let's see the cons. See, gentlemen, the critics say And critics are not wrong also, because there is a saying, Nindak niye rakhi, and we have to see the cons also. 4 years is too short a period. 6 months would be training, then including the leave. Actual physical service would be 2.5 years only. 2.5 saal naukri karega, and thereafter he goes back. And he will not be a risk-taking person, because he is looking for the next job. There is no security for his family in case he has a family, although he may not be married at that young age, but nevertheless he does have his parents. The cons are: a military-trained, weapon-trained, unemployed youth on street without jobs is a dangerous thing. Agniveers will be like, on the lighter side again, fire. Fire, if controlled, it can cook food for you. If it is uncontrolled, it can burn your house. So some job opportunities for these people are required to be searched and ensured. Otherwise, a weapon-trained large group of youth outside may be a potential target for the terrorist organizations, to put it very bluntly. You see, 46,000 people being recruited. After 4 years, 35,000 will be without jobs on the streets. Well-trained force, well-trained people in weapons, and especially seeing the dangers in J&K and Northeast India, it's a food for thought. It's a point to be pondered about. The government has not carried out any pilot project. You see, army is a very touchy issue. Defense forces is a touchy issue. No pilot project has been carried out. Initially, they should have recruited 100 or 1,000 people, seen the pros and cons, and subsequently taken such a drastic decision. A knee-jerk decision like this, without any pilot project, may be dicey. One of the journalists had remarked, if you think pension is expensive, try defeat. What a quote, a wonderful quote. I mean, it forces us to think something. They say, don't mess with the age-old system of the army or the defense forces without empirical evidence to support changes. There's no empirical evidence. We've studied some of the foreign countries. Indian conditions are very different from the foreign countries. So without a job guarantee to this large chunk of unemployed youth outside, things may become difficult. They say, don't experiment during trying times. We are passing through a trying time. China is on our northeastern border. The Pakis are on our western border. And such a trying situation, we are carrying out an experiment on the run. What the Modi government generally does. Some of the experiments have succeeded partially, some have failed also, some have succeeded completely. So it depends. Only time will tell what is going to happen. And there's a very important saying, gentlemen, there are no runners-up in war. The winner takes it all. You see, when a sports event is there's a football match or a cricket match or something, the first person climbs the podium, the second also gets a prize, the third also gets a prize. In war, only the winner takes it all. The runners-up or the second number loses all. So in such situations, considering the defense forces, in the defense forces you either win a war or you lose a war. So experimentation without empirical evidence is not advisable. Now let's conclude as to what is the final conclusion. Let's go down. To conclude this entire thing, I would say, or we can say that only time will tell as to what is going to happen. Such a unplanned sudden decision may not be good. There should have been a pilot project carried out. That notwithstanding, the devil lies in the details, they say. How well this plan is implemented is going to see the success or failure of this plan. If it is implemented well, the jobs for the 35,000 going out every year are ensured, and the government goes into the details of the implementation, very well planned, then it's going to be a success, and it may be a game changer. Else it can be a disaster also. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks a lot. I finish.